Scientists claim if the humans die out, the octopuses have the skills to build the next civilization. A man with STDs infected multiple coworkers after urinating into water bottles, and more than 50 birds mysteriously explode in a California neighborhood. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a guy inside a closet. Let's go. Scientists say that octopuses could build the next civilization if all of the humans become extinct. It's the sound of science. Boop, boop, boop. Science. I haven't done a sound of science article in a while. This one's about octopus, which I have a lot of respect for. I know how intelligent they are. They have 9 brains. Did you know that octopuses or octopi have 9 brains? And I had to look it up just to make sure. One central brain that they have is located in the head, like we have. But then they have little tiny brains in each of their arms. These smaller brains allow the octopus's arms to move independently and perform complex tasks, such as opening jars or solving puzzles. So scientists believe that these really smart sea creatures could probably rebuild civilization. And, I say give them a shot. We're not doing so great at it. So, I'm willing to give the keys to the octopi. Unfortunately, the fallout to that would be once we have octopus overlords, we won't be able to eat them anymore. So no more calamari, which I love, and a little marinara sauce. No more takoyaki. Have you ever tried that? I highly recommend it. Let's get into the article. In the grand narrative of life on Earth, extinction is no stranger. From the fiery demise of the dinosaurs, which occurred 65 million years ago, to the big 5 mass extinction events that have been recorded in the fossil archives, life on planet Earth has endured a relentless cycle of destruction and rebirth. But what if the next chapter features a protagonist that none of us quite expected? According to a scientist, the future of civilization may rest not in the hands of mammals, but in the 8 tentacles of the humble octopus. Yes, they say that octopuses, I call them octopi. I thought that was the plural of octopus. Turns out it's octopuses, according to this article. Octopuses, those slippery stars of aquariums and sushi menus, might have what it takes to become the planet's next dominant species. It's a claim that's as fascinating as it is eyebrow-raising. But this biologist, Tim Coulson, he's got a PhD from Oxford University. He's making a compelling case for the octopuses to be the dominant species. I assume because of their intelligence, but let's find out. I think they have a short lifespan, though, which is not ideal if you're looking for a creature to rebuild the next civilization. Although we had a short lifespan for a while, right? The average human only lived about 34 years for a time, and we've expanded on that. Maybe there's hope for the octopuses. This science nerd here claims that the key for the octopus is their adaptability. He says, quote, "There are many species of octopus, not one species, such as humans. Although some populations and some species may fare badly, I think there's an opportunity for others to survive, radiate, to diverge other evolutionary time, to colonize a wide variety of habits. Octopuses are also no stranger to innovation. Some species have been observed using tools in the wild, carrying coconut shells as makeshift armor or shelter, and even solving puzzles in laboratories that would stump some less savvy creatures. And let's not forget their Houdini-like talent for escaping tanks to visit neighboring octopuses or raiding food supplies. Yes, I mean, you can say octopuses seem to have a very highly evolved nervous system." The article goes on to say but. There's a big but. Intelligence and dexterity alone don't build civilizations. Octopuses face a major hurdle. They're not exactly team players, did you know? They're known for being solitary and even cannibalistic. Oh, I had no idea. Octopuses do not have the social structures necessary for creating a complex society. So I guess they're not quite like whales have a society. And even elephants have some sort of society. And they travel in tribes and whatnot. They're very social creatures. Turns out the octopus is very much a loner. Scientists do say, however, though, some octopus species are beginning to show signs of social behavior. Small groups of 10 or more octopuses have been observed living together, hinting at a potential, albeit distant, shift toward greater cooperation and possibly civilization-building techniques. Another biologist weighs in on any other possible candidates for Earth's throne. And this nerd says, who might rise to dominance? Nematodes, those tiny but ubiquitous worms that thrive in nearly every environment. Yeah, but worms don't even have a brain, do they? I can't see worms taking over. Birds are super smart. They can move swiftly over larger distances. I think birds would be the best candidate. And another argument against the octopus is it's just hard to imagine a soft-bodied sea creature would survive the next extinction event. If we're being real, it's going to be small things. Maybe the worms are closer, but I would imagine something like a cockroach or like bed bugs. The ladybug would be nice. They seem gentle. They don't really harm us. Oh, can you imagine a world run by ladybugs? That'd probably be a very nice living. Wonderful planet just filled with ladybugs. Planet Ladybug. Oh. Well, nonetheless, whatever species it might be that takes over, this isn't going to happen for a while, I hope. I don't want to die in my closet just yet. Whatever species takes over, they're going to be quite shocked at the price of houses. I think we could say that. A man with multiple STDs is arrested for infecting multiple coworkers after urinating in the water cooler at work. Oh boy, new fear unlocked, guys. Don't trust the water cooler at your workplace. Bring in your own water. This is disgusting. A man with multiple sexually transmitted and communicable diseases was sentenced to 6 years in prison for urinating into office workers' water bottles. This resulted in the victims contracting herpes simplex 1 and hepatitis A. 50-year-old janitor Lucio Diaz pled guilty to one of his multiple alleged assaults in which he intentionally infected his coworkers with his contaminated urine. Can you spread STDs with urine? He had to have been doing more than just that. He's probably just dunking his whole junk in the water bottles, doing a little junk dunk. That's disgusting. I'm so sorry. The Houston, Texas police say the disturbing occurrences happened at a doctor's office where the victim was employed for 20 years as a janitor. According to the court documents, there was a 5-gallon water dispenser at the medical practice that was used by the staff and others. It was the type of dispenser that had hot and cold settings and was situated in a common area to be shared. Almost immediately, a couple of female coworkers noticed a strange smell and taste coming from the water, so they began bringing their own water bottles to drink from. One of the women subsequently noticed a few days later, after leaving her personal bottle on her desk, there was the same type of funky taste and smell that she encountered from the water dispenser. Is this confusing everyone? Basically, they drank from the community water. It tasted foul. Then they brought in their own water, and they noticed their water tasted foul eventually. The crap really hit the fan when one of the female employees noticed yellow liquid in one of the caps of her bottle when she removed it. She smelled it. She realized it was, in fact, urine. She took the bottle to the on-site physician who ran a lab test on the liquid. Results confirmed it was indeed urine. Now, seeing as the doctor's office did not have any security cameras inside, one of the women purchased a small camera from Amazon, attached it to her computer. Very shortly, the motion detector alerted there was movement near the camera. The woman reviewed her independent surveillance setup, which showed a vile and disgusting act. The camera showed the janitor uncap the water bottle on the woman's desk, unzip his pants, and place his private part inside the bottle. Ha-ha. Definitely a junk dunk, as I suspected. After urinating inside the bottle, the mad pisser then recapped the water bottle and placed it back on the desk. Footage showed him repeating this act twice over a few days. The woman ultimately contacted police, who questioned the janitor. During questioning, Diaz admitted that he did it with malicious intent. Oh, my goodness. What did he have against this lady and the other lady? Probably multiple ladies. Is this one of those incels? Diaz, the mad pisser, also admitted to the investigators that he had, quote, a sickness and did not know how many times he urinated in the workers' drinking supply. Blood and urine samples were obtained from Diaz, and results indicated that he tested positive for herpes simplex 1 and hepatitis A. One of them is curable. One of the victims, it's reported, had lab work done for herself and learned that she had contracted both of these diseases. Doctors said it could have been transmitted to her after she came into direct contact with Diaz's bodily fluids, which he obviously placed in her personal property. As it turns out, she was not alone. 13 other women have come forward and accused Diaz of infecting them with STDs ranging between 2 different office buildings. Diaz was sentenced to 6 years in prison last week after pleading guilty to indecent assault and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. 6 years sounds not enough for the mad pisser here, in my opinion. I mean, people have gotten more time in jail for possession of marijuana. 6 years? I mean, this guy ought to be propped up in the town square so we can all urinate on his eyeballs, wouldn't you say? For 10 years. For 10 years of that is what he should have to suffer. Or how about penis removal? Huh? We never do that to people that do terrible things with their penis. We never remove the penis. They probably did that in medieval times. I know it sounds a little drastic and kind of cruel, but, I'm not saying do it all the time, but in cases like this, penis removal, I don't know. I think it's a suitable punishment for the mad herpes pisser. We want to prevent these things from happening in the future. I mean, I don't want to live life thinking that I'm surrounded by pathological nut jobs doing stuff like this out there in the world. There are sensitive positions, people that have contact with our lives in an intimate way, janitors, mailmen, delivery people, the waiters, cooks, etc. And I want them to be too afraid to do such things. I think we need to get RFK Jr. on the case here, although didn't he just swim in E. coli a couple days ago? I'm not sure he's going to be on board. He might have his own theory.
Herpes beefs up the immune system, as does hepatitis. You should get a dose from your water cooler or wherever you can find it.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Not everyone is careful with your personal information, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the US. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. If your identity is stolen, a US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year by visiting lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
More than 50 birds mysteriously explode in California. Alarmed animal lovers and bird watchers are demanding some answers as dead birds repeatedly plummet from the sky, with the carcasses falling on a quiet residential street. This sounds very morbid. More than 50 dead birds have been removed from Bernhard Avenue in Richmond, California. Several witnesses describe hearing a loud crack before the birds plunged to the ground, and one homeowner described how the creatures explode on impact in traumatic scenes. Do you think perhaps a teenager is blasting them with a BB gun or some sort of air rifle? That could be a solution. Do you guys remember the myth that if you fed birds dried rice, they would explode? Or what about the Alka-Seltzer experiment? Anyone remember this? I never tried it, but we heard that as children we were told that, I don't know where we got this information, that if you gave birds Alka-Seltzer, their stomachs would blow up. This was before the internet, so I'm not even sure where I got that information, to be honest. It says many of the homeowners in the area of Richmond, California, fear a power line running across the street could be malfunctioning and electrocuting the birds. However, the utility company has pointed the finger at a human aggressor, saying it is more likely that a shooter armed with a BB gun is behind these birds' deaths. We have a quote here from one of the residents named Maximilian, who says, "It's very traumatic. They just quickly explode. It's really violent, too. They just go kaboom." Ring security footage from one homeowner actually captured a loud pop, and then you see a bird fall lifeless to the ground, and the passersby gasp. Residents say the pop sounds like a firecracker or a gun. Neighbors say the phenomenon started several months ago and has since resulted in many bird deaths. One woman who lives across from the power lines in question but wasn't available for an interview said she has put multiple birds in her trash can in recent weeks, sadly. Sharon lives in the neighborhood. She says it was just horrifying. It was so horrifying. I didn't even know what was happening at first. You don't expect a bird just to go kapop and then it just explodes everywhere with feathers flying down. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's very traumatizing. I just feel bad. I feel bad for the children that grow up and they love the birds. The birds are beautiful. We have the best birds over here in Richmond, California. They're so pretty. They're so beautiful. And now you have the children watching these birds just explode, blood and guts all over the place, feathers flying, eyeballs landing on car windshields. It's really, really traumatic in the area. I don't know what we're going to do about this, but hopefully there'll be some sort of bird superhero. I've heard of Birdman. Do you remember? I think that Birdman, isn't that a thing? Maybe Birdman could help us. Now, the electric company has a statement. They're obviously not willing to claim responsibility for this because it's really bad PR when you hurt nature. The company says, we appreciate the concern of our customers in Richmond about the recent series of bird deaths. We have asked the California Department of Fish and Wildlife to evaluate several of the bird corpses. They have shared with us that the birds show no evidence of electrocution. We do not believe there was an issue with our electrical equipment, and we agree that these birds were not electrocuted after all. Neighbors have asked the county sheriff's office to look into this situation. The pole at issue is compliant with avian safe standards as established by the Avian Powerline Interaction Committee. Wow, did you know there's an Avian Powerline Interaction Committee? That means there's just this very tiny organization at I assume, the electric company. And their responsibility is probably moderating and monitoring the bird interaction with power lines. That is a wild job I never knew existed until now. I wonder if they have them for squirrels as well. Probably not. No one cares about the squirrels. They're degenerates.
Hey, Todd, Daddy, how you doing?
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, everybody. Hi, my loyal listeners. Thank you for spending some time with your buddy Jonesy and the Weird AF News. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the emails I've been getting. You can always message me at funnyjones@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show, please check out weirdafnews.com, the official website of Weird AF News. I'm going to publish some phone calls, and I haven't done that in a long time, so I have a little bit of a backup of phone calls I'm going to publish after this. So I'm going to keep the outro very brief because the phone calls might go a little bit long. It'll be a little bit blah, 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 blah. Be a little bit longer of an episode at the end tacked on. If you want to stick around for the calls, feel free to do so. If you want to call the show, the number is 646-450-2012. All right. Have a great night.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jonesy. Happy birthday to you. Good luck with your life, man.
Hey, Jonesy, this is Becca in New Braunfels. Happy birthday to you. I hope you're having a good time. I understand you were planning to drink and sing karaoke until you lost your voice. I look forward to hearing how you sound on Monday. Bye. Have a great weekend.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Jonesy from John Boy in Tennessee.
Jonesy, it is Hannah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jonesy. Happy birthday to you. And good luck with your life, man. I don't have a very good singing voice, but I hope you enjoyed your birthday. And I hope that it went well and that you had a good time, Sharona, and that you had a good dinner. Okay, good luck with your life, man, and enjoy your day. Happy birthday.
Jonesy, you rock and roller. You gave the truck fake story, and it was too easy. The thing why I guessed it is because you said the teacher was Miss Crabtree. Come on, man. Miss Crabtree was the teacher from The Little Rascal. Gave that away with that. But anyways, how are you? Are you ready for some basketball? Could we meet the Boston Celtics and Cleveland Cavaliers? How exciting that would be. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you had a good birthday. I did text you and say happy birthday. And hopefully all is well with you. Talk to you when I talk to you. Stay out of trouble. Do it while you can, but just don't get caught. Love you.
This is Shaq. And this is Charles. And we're just calling Jonesy to wish him a happy belated birthday. Sorry, Jonesy, but we got busy. Yeah, we got busy. Jonesy, I wanted you to know that I was thinking of you on your birthday. And to prove it, I even set aside $500 to send you for your birthday. But I thought, how could I make that even more? So I bet that $500 that President T. Rump would set aside the tariffs on China by the time of your birthday. Oh, Shaq, did you say T. Rump? Oh, that's just terrible. Yeah, I did say T. Rump. But he didn't lift the tariffs on China by then, so I lost the $500. Sorry, Jonesy. I can prove it to you by sending you my betting ticket if you want. Aw, Jack, that's just terrible. Anyway, Jonesy, we were thinking of you and did want to wish you a happy belated birthday. Yeah, that's true, Jonesy. We were thinking about you. And we wanted to say happy birthday, Jonesy. Yeah, happy birthday. Now, let's turn it over to our announcer. That's right. This is Johnny Media. And if you want to wish Jonesy a happy belated birthday or send him a gift, you can just listen to Jonesy at the end of his podcast and he'll tell you all the methodologies in which you can send him a gift, join the PayPal, or some other way in which you can wish Jonesy a happy belated birthday. Just tune in to the end of the show when Jonesy does his outro. And Jonesy, happy belated birthday. Good luck with your life, man.
Hi, Jonesy. Here is Sue from Ireland. I was just listening to your podcast. By the way, I love it. I love so much. You know, every day I hear the podcast. I have a list of more than 60 podcasts that I play every day. You know, I don't get to listen to everything, and but you, in the beginning, I had you in the back of my list because entertainment, it was very low in my priority of podcasts to listen. But so most of the time I was unable to listen to your podcast because it was very down in my list. But then I decided to put you on the top. So the very top is my local news. I am in Ireland, so I listen the podcast from Ireland, the first one. The second one is Democracy Now! Because I like the journalism very much, you know. But after Democracy Now! I really need your podcast because They have very good journalism, but it's very real about the wars that's going on, all about everything that's going on. But, so after I listen to Democracy Now!, I really need something like your podcast. So I listen to your podcast, and then, it's a relief, to go back to not bad news. Even bad news when you do in a way that it is refreshing and it is much easier to listen. So I am calling because I want to tell you that there is a cure for cancer. I was listening to your podcast now, and you are saying, why there is no cure for cancer? Yes, there is a cure for cancer. But the problem is, if we cure cancer, the pharmaceutical industry, they are going down. So I am a nurse, okay? I work with the regular medicine for a long time, but the thing